Students, in last video we have discussed about the cell, discovery of the cell, and how our shape and size of the cells are different in organisms. And in this video we will discuss more about the cell. So first is tissue. What is tissue? A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function, such as this is a similar shaped cell, and by the joining of these cell and the group of these similar cell form a tissue, and tissue perform a specific function. Next is organ. A group of tissue which work together to perform a particular function in the body is called organ. So a group of tissue which work together, a group of tissue, here I take three tissue in which similar cells are present. So here I take three type of tissue in which similar cells are present, and this make a organ that perform a particular function. And the cells of two tissue may be different from each other, and one tissue is organized to perform a specific function, and a group of tissue which work together to perform a particular function in the body is called organ. Such as our stomach perform a particular function, and what perform is functionized by stomach to digest the food. So stomach is an organ that is made up of tissues, more than 2 tissues or 3 tissues. Okay, and next is each organ in the digestive system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation, absorption. Each organ in the digestive system consists esophagus, stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine. So each organ in the digestive system perform digestion, food digestion, assimilation. Assimilation means in which we get energy from the digested food. That process we call assimilation. And absorption, digested food is absorbed through the absorption process. Digested food is absorbed by the blood vessels, and through the blood, digested food is circulated all over the body. So these three processes is carried out by the digestive system's organ. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specific or specialized function, such as roots. What work is done by root? Root help in the absorption of water and mineral present in the soil, and leaves are responsible for synthesis of food. Next is part of the cell. In last video we have discussed that what is cell and how was discovery of cell occurred, and what factors determine the shape and size of the cell, and how are shape and size of the different organism differ from each other. And next is, here are part of the cell. This is cell. The basic component of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell wall. This is a cell and this cell is covered by a membrane. That membrane we call cell membrane or plasma membrane. In the center part of the cell, nucleus is present, and jelly-like substance or fluid-like substance that present between the nucleus and cell membrane, that we call cytoplasm. And in plant cell, additional covering outside the cell membrane is also found, that we call cell wall, found in only plant cell. The membrane separates, and the working of cell membrane. The membrane separates cell from one another and also the cell from the surrounding medium. It means in our body so many cells are combined together. So this cell membrane separate the cell from one another. So these 2 cell or 3 cells are separately are separately reside because of this cell membrane. Cell membrane separates the cells from one another, and also cell membrane separate the cell from its surrounding environment, such as this is surrounding environment of cell, and because of cell membrane this cell is separated from its surrounding medium. Next is plasma membrane is porous. The membrane that we see are here porous. This membrane is porous and allows the movement of substance or material both inside and outwards. If there is requirement the substance to be go inside, then this membrane allow the substance to come inside, and if there is necessary of any material to go outside, then this membrane allow that material to go outside, because this is porous membrane. And students, if we see the cells in microscope, that using microscope enlarge the view of things. So if we peel out thin layer of onion bulb, and then thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces with the help of a blade. And if we peel out a small layer of bulb, and this small layer of bulb can also be further divided into small pieces by using blade. Okay, and then add a drop of methylene blue solution to the layer, and then a chemical which name is methylene blue solution we add to this layer and cover slip on it, and this layer is placed on a slide that is made up of glass, and this thin layer of onion bulb we put on this slide, and after then methylene blue solution is added to it, and then cover slip placed on it. A cover slip is also made up by the thin glass, very thin glass, and this slide is made up of very thick glass, and comparatively this cover slip is made up of very thin glass. And after then we observe this under microscope, then what we will observe? We observe then that onion is made up of smaller cells, and in which nucleus and cytoplasm is present. We know that cell is basic cell components: cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. And this is not a real diagram. Actually here two membranes, one cell is covered with two membrane, because onion is a plant cell, and plant cell have two membrane. First is cell membrane and other is cell wall. This is nucleus and this here is cytoplasm. And why we use methylene blue solution? It acts as a dye or stain. Dye or stain. Methylene blue solution is a dye or stain which is used to color the part of a cell, such as we used to color the part of the onion cell. So because of which we can capable to see the cells of onion bulb clearly. Next is the boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. Okay, so here are two membrane of one onion cell, one cell membrane. Outer the cell membrane, cell wall is also present. The central dense round body in the center is called the nucleus. And dense means the component of the nucleus. Component means the things by which nucleus is made up. The material or things are closely packed together, so we called that central dense round body. Okay, and next is cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? The jelly-like substance between the nucleus and the cell wall. Between the nucleus and cell membrane we call cytoplasm. Next is cell wall. In addition to the cell membrane, there is an outer thick layer is in cells of plant called cell wall. You know about this? This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. This outer covering out of the cell membrane is required by the plants for its protection, because plants are openly exposed to various environmental conditions like high speed wind, high temperature. So they need to be protect themselves by having this outer covering that we call cell wall. So students, next is cell organelles. Various other components or organelles of cell are present in the cytoplasm. This cytoplasm is also having various various organelles that we call cell organelles, because that organelles present in the cell, such as mitochondria, Golgi bodies, and ribosomes. And about these cell organelles you will study in your further class. Students, you know that in cell nucleus is present. So in this, here we will discuss about the nucleus properties and nucleus work. And this is nucleus. Nucleus is covered by two membrane structure that we call nuclear membrane. And what is nuclear membrane? Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm, and here is cytoplasm. So because of having nuclear membrane, nucleus can be separated from its surrounding medium, and surrounding medium is cytoplasm for nucleus. So nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by membrane called the nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous, and this membrane is also porous membrane, and allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and the inside of the nucleus. It means nucleus allow the substance movement in both direction, from inside to outside and outside to inside, between the cytoplasm and inside the nucleus. And next is here are thread-like structure present in the nucleus that we call chromosomes. Okay, that we call chromosomes, and chromosomes can only be seen in a clear way. Chromosome structure like this type, and chromosome can only be seen if the cell is in condition of division. When cell divides, in that condition we can see this chromosome in this way. Otherwise, chromosomes are laid in a cell in a thread-like structure. And there are small spherical body that we call nucleolus. Okay. So this is the structure of nucleus. Or here are chromosomes, and you know that genes are attached to the chromosome. Genes are attached to the chromosomes, and chromosomes can be seen only when cell divides. And what is genes? Let me discuss. Students, the gene that attached with chromosome, such as here two genes are attached with chromosome, it is responsible for the determining of characteristics of living organism. Such as whatever characteristics we have, that characteristics we have because of the genes that attached with the chromosome, such as color of hair and color of skin, both is determined by the genes attached at the chromosomes. So this is gene. And next is gene is a unit of inheritance. Inheritance means the process of transferring characteristics from parents to offsprings, that we call inheritance. And inheritance synonyms is hereditary. So both words are same in their meaning. The process of transferring characteristics from parents to offspring. You know that characteristics of living organism is determined by gene. So gene is, and because of gene, the characteristics is transferred from parents to offspring, and that process we call inheritance. So gene is act as a data cable through which we can transfer things from one computer to another computer. So gene act like a data cable. Okay, and is a unit of inheritance because in our body so many genes are present, and one gene is capable to determine a particular type of characteristics. So that we call gene is a unit of inheritance in living organism. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to offspring. Hereditary characteristic, the characteristics that is passed from parents to offspring, and it is controlled by gene. This means that your parents pass some of their characteristics onto you because you have received the genes from your parents. So the characters and so you may have the same characteristics as your parents have. So, and if your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes, and if your mother has curly hair, you may also have curly hair, because genes are carried from parents to their offsprings. Next is, however, the different combination of genes from the parents result in different characteristics. Students, you know that genes are carried from parents to offspring, and if that genes are carried from parents to offspring in a same way as they present in our parents, in that condition we have the same characteristics as our parents. But if the genes are combined in a different way, differ from our parents, then we get a different characteristics that are differ from our parents' characteristics. So however, the different combination of gene, and that combination of gene if not matched with our parents' genes, in that condition we get a different characteristics. So and next is, so I hope you have understood about the genes. Next is chromosomes. Chromosomes carry genes. You know chromosomes carry genes. So genes help in inheritance. Inheritance means transfer of characters from the parents to the offspring. And students, what is the work of nucleus? In addition to its role in inheritance, you know that the inheritance is possible because of nucleus, because where is chromosome present? In nucleus. And where is gene present? At the gene is attached to the chromosome. So finally, what is responsible for inheritance? Nucleus. So in addition to its role in inheritance, act as a control center of the activities of the cell, because in our cell, in the cytoplasm area, whatever activities are being done, that all activities are under controlled by the nucleus. So we call it act as a control center of the activities of the cell, because all activities are being carried out or are carried out under the control of nucleus. Next is protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Living substance of the cell is called protoplasm. The entire content of a living cell is known as protoplasm. It includes cytoplasm, it includes the cytoplasm and nucleus. So the entire content of living cell is known as protoplasm, and that includes cytoplasm and nucleus. So I hope you have understood these all things very well. Thank you.